So would that mean that at one point you shared the same culture too? And when was this?
No, this was during the time
Yeah, like when did we all when were we all kind of one big party together and we shared the same culture, same ideas?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. You know, 17. We're gonna go between. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. I want you to get me 2 Kings 17.
Oh, so.
Yeah, but we can get that afterwards too. That's a good one as well. Yeah, that's all right.
2 Kings 17, yeah.
Yeah, start from verse 23. Yeah.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 23. Let's start from verse 22. But the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them until the Most High removed Israel out of his sight.
Yeah, because what does it mean by read that one more time?
Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight.
So how did the Lord remove them out of his sight? Meaning he moved them out of the land of Israel, because that's where the Lord is occupied in the ground of Egypt. So how was they removed? They was removed out of that land. They went to Ashur.
And he was there all the time. Was this all of us?
No, this is the other 10 tribes of Latino.
Oh, right.
Indigenous people.
Oh, right. Yes, sir. But they're called Israel, we're called Judah.
Yeah, right.
They're called Israel, we're called Judah.
Right.
There was a split.
There was a split, yeah. I'll explain.
What is it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's about this.
Okay, go.
Deuteronomy 11 verse 12. A land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. That's it. Deuteronomy 11 verse 11. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drink of water of the rain of heaven. A land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it from the beginning of the year.
There you go. The eyes of the Lord was upon it from the day of what?
So carry on. Well, it says, back to 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 23. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight.
Now we understand. Now we understand what's going on. Because, like the brother was saying, there was a split. You have 2 kingdoms. You have the kingdom of Judah and you have the kingdom of Israel. Or Joseph, so to speak. You understand? But that's what happened. They split. They moved to the land of offering. But you know, there's a little more puzzle. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, that's it now. Yeah. Is there any more points on that? Yeah, go on. We'll see what happens.
So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria to this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cutha and from Avon and from Hamath and from Sepharvaim and placed them in the cities of Samaria.
Yeah, that's the so-called Ethiopian. Yeah, the brother was right. So we'll go down to this. That's going to the second one. But what happened was a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Pretty much, I have to understand, before, during the ancient Assyrian captivity, we was all together, right? We was all in the land, this land right here. But we were split after Solomon, after King Solomon. And from that point, the man over Israel, the other tribes, the Latin tribes, the Hispanic tribes, was a man called Jeroboam. And he made them to do wickedness, man, certain idols, all kind of madness. That's what we see. That's when alongside the spirit put the ancient Assyrians to come up against them and take them captive into Assyria. And after that point, after that captivity, they went basically traveled to the Americas. Went to the Americas, stayed there. This is 777 BC.
720, yeah, 720 BC.
Yeah. Around it. Because you have to look into it. We're in the history of the ancient Assyrians. You you look into it, but it's not an imaginary thing.
So what you're saying, is when we were when we were part of this land and we were Assyrians, is the time where we were all together, we were sharing.
Yeah, we were all together. And before that, it's only until after that captivity, that's when them tribes said, man, fuck it, every time we try to be or something, try to, it's difficult to keep our ways, we keep going in slavery. You know, if you go into the book of Judges, kept on going into slavery. I'm trying to say, because the Most High was dealing with us and punishing us.
Basically, when we was all together, but you know that there was a place that Ethiopian part. Push on into the land. They went into the land and they knew they had to keep the law. And when they went into the land,
but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
they would leave the multitude of the heathen, because the Assyrians were the heathens. I believe the Assyrians were the people of I believe that, if I'm saying it correctly, Ashur. Ashurites. Those are the same people that's in Baghdad today. That's where those different things in their head or whatever. Because they Muslims. I think that the Shuite was they're the one that they're Syrians. So he was enslaved under them, and then most of our people fled into the Americas.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country
Boy.
where never mankind dwelt.
Never mankind dwelt, and that was the land of America, because the land of America, which it wasn't called America at the time, it was called the land of Canaan. Okay, because what you have was like when you go like in the ancient world, like when you go to America, you have these different statues, these big lips, big head statues. Those were the Canaanites that Solomon sent over to bring forth spices and all of that stuff. That's why they was in that land, the Canaanites. It's during the time of King Solomon, which kind of going into something else, but it goes into the point. Because what I'm trying to say is that the people in the ancient world, they knew about America before, but they dwelt in that land. The Native Indians took over that land so they could establish their ways and the laws thereof. So they were the heathens. Yeah, go ahead.
They called it the New World, trying to make it look like Christopher Columbus discovered.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Trying to put all this praise on the so-called whites that it's such a great, it's all lies, it's all lies. The people of the ancient world, they always knew about Western. They always knew about the Americans. Right? That's what they. So there was a landmark, big, like a negroid head, and the helmet. If you look at the actual statue itself, there's a helmet on it, and that helmet, that's Hamitic headgear. That's not us. So when you see that Negro head, you think it's us. That head is not of our people. That head is of the Canaanites. They were servants to Shalom, Allah Shalom. Solomon sent them there, and they came back. It took them a year and a half to get there, a year and a half to get back. So I'm going to show you how long it took. It says,
you say Solomon, you mean King Solomon, King
Solomon came from the tribe of Judah.
from the tribe of Judah, yeah.
He looked like a black man. His father, was a black man.
I've heard a little bit of that with Rastafarianism. How does that compare? How does that compare with you, though, for example?
I want to say something.
Yeah, how does that? Yeah. Because obviously you're talking about them, so yeah, please tell me like what you see. You look into them now. Tell me how you compare to these guys.
Okay, well, the thing with the Rastas now is that they're just bugged out. Understand? I'm just gonna call it straight. I'm just a straight person. They're all messed up in the head, man, because they on the marijuana. So they're saying that the Queen of Sheba has sex with Solomon. There's no evidence on that. So I don't know where they get that from, but what it is when you high on them drugs, you believe in any form of madness, the Rastas are telling you. They even said that Solomon.
Spiritual. Yeah.
Solomon was right, that was bullshit. That's all bullshit.
Can I cut one quick thing? I remember that they believed in Solomon because there was apparently a scripture that said there was going to be some sort of rise of a black king in Ethiopia.
That's all matters.
Is that not in the Bible though? Is that not in the
No,
Bible?
that's not in the Bible.
Oh, it's not?
Because when you read Revelations, the 5th chapter, it speaks about the covenant of line of the tribe of Judah. They read that and they think that that's talking about Haile Selassie, which not even talking about. If he was really the king, how come his ass was buried under the toilet? So if he's really the king and he was behind the queen, so if he was really the superior being, why would he be behind the queen number one and down to the down? He's a nobody. He's somebody that's been that's what it is. You know what I mean? But I want to go back to this thing.
What you say? Haile Selassie?
Yeah, but talk about Haile Selassie. Yeah, that's who the Rastafarians want. That's who they believe in.
Yeah.
Check it. Haile Selassie, he wasn't even born. He was East Indian.
You know the one? I'll explain.
So it reads on, it says, verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Yeah, because they want to. Yeah, because I mean, which they made a good point. They wanted to come out the land of the Assyrians because there was too much heathens around, and they was doing their own thing. Okay, they was worshiping their gods or whatever, so they really couldn't keep the laws. But when they went over to the Americans, they didn't keep the laws either. They was going off from all that practice. And that's why the Lord sent the curses on them as well, bringing the so-called white men towards their shores and taking their land. Because they were committing all different types of acts. It was crazy. Go ahead, bro.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Yeah.
For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Yeah, because it took them a year and a half to get to the point where they were at, all the way up to the Americas. Because during that region, which I believe is the Pacific Ocean, if I'm wrong. I mean, if I'm right, I could be wrong, but around that area is a big wide body of water. Now around that region, we normally get like earthquakes and different water quakes and all of that stuff. So the Lord had it to where they went through that land smoothly because they to fulfill prophecy. You understand? Which to fulfill prophecy that they would. That exactly happened.
Good question. So, as
The Atlantic Ocean.
no, sorry, I'm just going to going back to like the curses, because I know that you said that all the tribes are cursed, right? This is why we're today. How long have you been cursed for?
Well, I could be on Deuteronomy chapter 28 where it says that we need to scatter the floor. It's in verse. I think it's in verse 4.
When did we actually start from?
Well, it really started, the curses really started all the way back to, around that time period, it really started. It was basically like, the main prophecy I want the reference to be is that the Israelites would be scattered abroad. That was one of the curses.
And when was from Babylon? When was this time from Babylon? What kind of year was it in?
From around the 6th century BC. 6th century.
Wow, and we're in the 21st century. So we've been cursed for that long.
Yeah, because we keep going, because we keep disobeying God's laws. That's right. But there's going to come a time when the kingdom of heaven is established. We're not going to be cursed. The same curses that we endure, the other nations are going to endure this curse. So to speak. Afterwards, but we're going to get to that. Because we keep jumping around.
So it says Deuteronomy 28 verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
There you go.
Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them.
Flee 7 ways before him, boy.
And shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
That still stands to this very day, because you got Israelites in Nigeria, you got Israelites in Ghana, you got Israelites all over. You even got Israelites that are like so-called Europeans. Ireland, Scotland, different parts of England, Americas, Italy as well, Spain, India. You got the Dalits, which means the untouchables. You have a group of Indians, right? Dalits, they have their own little community, right? And the word Dalits means at least it's a broken people, right?
Yeah.
Broken people.
It's been a while since I looked at it. broken feet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, because we are broken people. We know the scripture, we're broken. You know, we're rolled over the world. Everywhere.
Did you read that verse when you did that?
It said verse 25, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them.
And really that curse there, that particular curse really happened in ancient Rome because when Vespasian gave the edict to the sons, right, or the army, what happened was our people went from North Africa, some of them went down to South Africa, and some of them went to West Africa too. Because you even got a certain people, the so-called black people, that's calling themselves Hebrews. I forgot their names, man. Their names but they claim to go back to people of Ireland or something like that. There's a people in South Africa. It's the Lemba tribe. The Lemba tribe. So they claim to keep the customs and all of that, and the reason being, and it's believable, because it does tell you in the book, the Babylon the Timbuktu book, where it tells you that the Jews went all over the place, fleeing from Roman persecution.
Yeah, so that's it. Really, that scattering started with ancient Babylonians. So Ethiopians, they wasn't always in East Africa. But there's that book where they were actually in the Middle East. It was called Kufa. Yeah.
Who's this?
But the Ethiopians. They were not always in East Africa.
Ethiopians,
Yeah. You see them walking around today. They were always in East Africa. They were once in the Middle East.
But I'm not talking about.
I'm
talking about the Israelites. The Israelites were scattered abroad.
Yeah, no, I know what I'm saying. How we were scattered during the time of Daniel.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Well, you're gonna go to the point. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, see, even my brain's a bit scattered now. This is my training for.
It's interesting.
Oh yeah, I want to go back to that verse when you said that we were scattered 7 ways. What is that 7 ways?
Well, what it meant is that we would be. What would happen is like I've expounded before. We'll be scattered into different countries. That's why it tells you in Isaiah 11:11, the Lord is going to. Matter of fact, read it if you don't mind. I'm sure.
So when you say 7 ways, would that mean 7 different countries? So what is 7
No, it just
ways?
means completely scattered. That's all it means.
Scattered,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
because the number 7 means completion, so to speak.
Oh,
This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day, that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Yeah, because the first time was during the time of Egypt. Okay, when he recovered the Israelites. I'm talking a bit too much. Let's just read the scriptures.
Which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam
Which is amongst the East niggas who's going to go.
and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
All of us are outcasts. We're not in the land of Israel right now. So even me and this brother, and you included, will be considered the outcasts.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah.
Like, for example, when you study the transatlantic slave trade, what was it also known as? The sport, which was dispersed.
Let's say, and dispersed of Judah from the 4 corners of the earth.
There you go.
And envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Yeah, so what that really tells us is that because like nowadays, like if you deal with these tribes over here, if you deal with these tribes, like for example, you got the Puerto Ricans and that. They don't be like, well, let's just deal with the Dominicans, because I know the Dominicans they don't like black people so much. You understand?
really? The Dominicans don't like black people?
No, they don't. I mean, it's not that they don't like black people, but they think that they're better. You know, all of the tribes think they're better than each other.
They nick the black man's knowledge and use it as their own, innit?
I'll get to you in a minute because I'm dealing with one thing at a time. I don't want to lose my train of thought. But basically, we're all brothers. Understand? Even amongst the dark tribes, we have better than in South Central America. You understand? What the Lord is going to do is the Lord is going to bring the tribes of Israel together. Those of the beaches there. You understand? Matter of fact, read that part where it says Judah should not envy.
Envy also of Ephraim.
Don't watch no sin. That's all bullshit.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Yeah, I mean, before I want to go on this, I want to just say this is wrong, man. That whole Sunday TV, man, like, that's all the scam. Them guys are fucking bullshit. Understand? I don't mean to cuss, you know, but that's just my spirit.
Is there a particular reason why you think that?
No, well, I'll say this, but it's all coming out. The thing with Light, right, what he does is just that. Like, let's say, for example, there's a bout between the two doctrines. If that one doctrine wins, right, he's going to become that particular doctrine. So in other words, what he does, he switches doctrines up. Like, one minute he'll be a Kemite, and then the next minute he'll be into Scientology, and so on and so forth. But what he's doing is he's a scam artist now. He's a scam artist, and you got certain people that follow now and finding out that it's a bullshit artist, right? And it's all about money. It's all about money.
I watched that video where somebody came to the camp, he was cursing out the brothers in the Jesus camp, saying, you guys hate the black woman. You hate the black woman. You know about Sunday?
Sign out.
I've heard. He's a nigga from Rome. One time he even admitted he was an Israelite.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, then Most High took that spirit off of him. He put 7 people in him. And he came up to the camp and said, guys, do you understand?
But I ask you one question. Do you use any sort of other methods of knowledge apart from the Bible to confirm everything?
Well, what we do is, that's a good question. What we do is we do go into different books. Like we just going into this book here, the Bible dictionary. But our main thing is just the Bible, because that's what speaks about everything. Because I mean, this Bible is vast. This Bible is vast. Like we could go into the pieces, to the peoples of the planet, all the way up to the prophecies, man. That there was of martial law and all of that stuff. First World War. I mean, this Bible is just this. In terms of the information is ridiculous.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Why did you do that? I ran that up. This is about faith. We don't have any evidence, real hardcore evidence saying my land, my physical bloodline goes all the way back to Jacob. And Isaac and Abraham. And we don't have any records. You know what I'm saying? It's faith. This thing is based on faith. We didn't know we were this. We didn't know we were this. We didn't know. We came to the knowledge of the Israelites. So meaning, when we were born, we didn't have nothing out here to claim to be Israelites. We didn't have enough statues of David as a black man or Solomon as a black man. We didn't see none of that. It's just that we heard the word and we believed it.
Question. How long has the Bible existed for?
Well, I mean, I'll say it like this. I'm gonna break it down like this, right? And I'm just being truthful. I'm not trying to place it out to everyone. But the thing about it is, it's the Bible now. Because you got Muslims, they'll say the same thing. Like, I can say the same thing about their book too. But you have knowledge about their book. But let's deal with the Bible now.
I think even before anything.